Thank you for graciously staying with us. We continue pace with the conversation. As promised, I'm joined this evening by Dr. Makali Mulu, who is a member of Parliament, I should say, Kitui Central. Also, Danson Mungatana, who is a senator of Tana River. We have Peter Kaluma with us as well, Homad Bay, a town member of Parliament. And we primarily want to look at what was happening today in the National Assembly, and we discuss other issues as well. In the Senate, we saw the CS appearing before the Senate to answer to a number of questions regarding, of course, his docket. So, a hearty welcome to all of them and you, and join the conversation also on our socials as we continue just trying to unbundle some of these issues that were raised. Let me just begin with you, Dr. Makali Mulu, because I saw you on the floor of the House really debating fiercely on a raft of issues regarding the budget, and you wanted to get clarification on especially the issue of the Mitumba and the issue also of the non-resident, this is non-residents, I forget the names, landlords, yeah? Yeah, landlords, yeah, so that we get clarification on it. First of all, we have this presumptive tax on the Mitumba. But there is no clarity, and it has been also an issue that was raised by Ndini Nyoro, that people will be taxed in a hidden way. So they taxed at the source, but this also will eventually, of course, go to the consumer.
Yes. No. Thank you, Diba, for hosting us with my colleagues. And I'm happy that we have Honorable Kaluma, who sits in the Finance and Planning Committee. I think what is happening is what people are saying,
yes,
both sides to some extent is right, but it depends on which document we are referring to. And when you look at the bill, the Green Book, that is a document which came from the executive side. Now, when it was tabled in the House, that document was handed over to the Committee of Finance and Planning, where Kaluma sits. The committee conducted public participation. And as a result of that exercise of public participation, they have come up with some amendments. So depending on which documents you are referring to, you are likely to find that each of the teams are saying the right thing. But what we need to note is that the committee report, even though it was tabled in the House, most of their comments will be taken up when we go for the committee of the third reading level. That's the time they will present their comments, and they'll be adopted by the House, and then their comments become what? Become law. At the same time, from the experience of last year, 2024,
yes,
as a House we passed our amendments, but the President objected to them. You remember?
Yeah.
So what we are saying is, now when I took over to debate, for me I said I want to debate on the basis of the Green Book, because that's the position of the executive.
Yes. Before
we start coming to the position of Parliament. Now, if you look at the Green Book, it says this in terms of Mitumba. You go to Clause 31, Part 1A, Clause 31 talks about tax exemptions and the zero rating. Some of the items in that clause have been moved from zero rating to tax exempt. And other items have been tax exempt. So Mitumba happens to fall in the class of items which have been tax exempt. So that once you tax exempt an item, because Mitumba is not produced in Kenya, so you don't have what you call VAT on input, because it's imported normally.
Yes.
But now if you look at the original thinking, the original thinking was tax exempt, which makes Mitumba law, but then the proceeds, the profit which comes after selling Mitumba, then you tax 5%. That was the original thinking.
Yes.
Now what the committee has done, when you go to the committee report, the committee now has removed this bit of taxing the profit. So what remains now is tax exempt, which makes it now cheaper. And by making it cheaper, is good for the country, because now local manufacturers are going to we are promoting local production.
Yes.
So
buy Kenya, build Kenya.
Now the contentious issue is as we discussed. When I say Mitumba price will go up, and I'm basing my argument on the blue book, on the green book, which is the bill, which has come from the government, that's a fact. But now when Kalumba takes over to debate and he says there is no Mitumba excise tax on Mitumba because he's referring to the committee report, he is right. The only challenge is the committee report has not yet been factored into the bill, so that when it becomes Act of Parliament, that position has changed. That is where the confusion is. And that's why you see those of us who are on the minority side, we are saying we are debating the bill as it was brought by the executive.
Okay.
Because that was the intention of the executive. So the intention of the executive was we are going to tax a VAT exempt Mitumba, but then tax the profit from Mitumba 5%. So which means the price of Mitumba will go up.
Right. So this debate is predicated on whether you're reading from the Green Book
or the report of the
committee.
And that's why you see when majority of the people from the majority side were debating, they were making reference to the committee report, which already has not been factored into the bill. And that's where the confusion is coming in.
But maybe he is actually speaking from good authority that it might be factored into
but it has not passed through the House. Two important factors. It has not gone through that reading, so that it has been adopted by the House, and the President still has a room to say no to some of the amendments. Because if he says no, you have to raise 2/3 for you to retain that amendment. Over time, the House has been unable to undo presidential reservations because we are not able to raise 2/3 of the required number. That's now where the challenge is.
Well, let me just throw this also to Mugatana. I don't know what input he will have, because in the spirit of concurrence, will this also be happening in the Senate? Right? We've never seen the Senate really debating on the finance bill.